Good evening, everybody. This is the first video in a while I've made it's not midnight. There's been a few changes to the game. I've made a few mechanical updates, a few changes to the inventory, and obviously a few graphical changes there. If you look at the bottom of the screen, I have added a few more danger indicators. The far left there is the hunger, and then the battery. I have no excuse why I didn't have them in there before. But anyway, as I was going through building all the warnings and hazards and holy crap you're gonna die alerts, I realized I did not have them. In the lower left hand corner, I've kind of preset some of the slider bars to oh danger, oh crap, oh no, we're all gonna die values. Starting on the left, we still have the battery pack. It's running a little bit low there. As you can see, the player's oxygen is going to be out. And the health is going to start dropping because he has no oxygen in his suit and he's going to die. The hunger and thirst is nearly at maximum, so that's going to trigger the hunger indicator once the game actually starts. So we'll go ahead and start that up here in just a second. I wanted to change the graphics quite a bit. I got rid of the bright green background that used to be there, the skybox. Green Nebula, it's a great asset on the Unity asset store, just did not fit really in this game. I did try some of the Skyscape, very amazing free tool. If you do not have it and you're trying to make a space game in any engine, Unity, Unreal, CryEngine, I think it even supports Ogre. It's a very amazing tool. It's free, go find it. It's called Skyscape. Anyway, I used that and made a different star background. It's just a very bland sky of stars. That's it. With a little bit of a red tint to kind of go with the burning planet theme we got going on here. Everything's a little bit darker. I did not really like how I was kind of leaning the game more towards a very bright and cheery, happy side of space. I really did not want that to be the feeling that the player had. The idea is that the player is very alone and very, very much in danger. So everything's quite a bit darker. I took the sun out, and I took the actual light with the sun, took that out also. I've changed it from baking light maps to real-time light maps, real-time lighting, I should say. So the shadows aren't quite the way that I like them to be right now. I'm still working on that. But there's not very much light, so it actually works out pretty well, so the way that it is. Go ahead and get started and play the game here. Get it loaded. As far as the asteroids and everything are concerned, nothing's really changed there. As you can see, the hunger indicator at the bottom, he's starving and he's very thirsty, and his health indicator in the lower left hand, you see it dropping there is because there's no oxygen. And you see the little choking indicator, he has no oxygen, you're dying, and we're dying, and we're dying, and we're dead. There is no dead screen, obviously. So here we go. The battery and everything is the same. I've added mechanics for all of the other warning indicators, and I've just set up a few just real temporary hazards here. This black void right here, we'll start over there and get rid of that because it's horrendously killing the video. This is going to be our radiation. See, the radiation thing goes off at the bottom. This is our green shit. Don't ever stand in the green shit. Gas cloud. We've got the electrical spark. So you're getting electrocuted. You see a little lightning bolt. And apparently the gas cloud is still killing us. Here's the fire. Don't ever stand in the fire. We don't need no water. Anyway, there's the downspout of cold and the indicator. So as you move in and out of it, the indicator will alert when you're in danger and when you're out of danger. In danger, out of danger. So that's pretty much how those mechanics work. It's real simple. Basically, a zone will be designated as burning area or whatever, hazards, explosions, leaky pipes, things like that. Fun stuff. I changed the mechanics on the inventory while I was at it because it was not really functioning the way that I liked. So before, the graphics of the inventory has not changed. So we'll go ahead and pick up a few items here. Kind of show you what I've picked up here. Is the battery was the first green object, and the O2 canister was the white capsule. I've built functionality to actually organize and sort the dictionary. Basically all it does is this function takes the dictionary, turns it into a list, sorts it by key, and then uses those sorted key names to create the buttons. And every time you pick up a new item, it will destroy and recreate this whole list. Yes, the obvious downside is if you're carrying 10,000 items, it will take a second to recreate it. The player will not be allowed to carry 10,000 items, I'm sorry. But anyway, everything else still works the same. When you use something, and we'll click off the inventory. Now we have a little bit of error. It's too late, we're already dead. We're running a little low on battery, so we might as well do that too. Sure, why not? It doesn't matter, we're already dead. So the indicators in the lower left have increased accordingly. And if we run over here and grab the food and water, and we'll just go ahead and pick up the scrap metal game objects. And same thing, obviously with no sun, you can't really see the 3D model in the middle there. We'll go ahead and use our food and our water, and we're not as hungry, and we're not as thirsty. The only major change that this really brings about is organization to the list, to the dictionary, to the inventory. The scrolling still does work. I did create a scene with about 1,200 objects in it and picked them all up, and it does work just fine. The problem I was running into before was by not really sorting the dictionary, the inventory looked like crap. It really just did not look well. Also ran into a problem with using certain amounts of items in a very quick succession for some reason, caused problems. And then of course I had to write my own functions to rearrange the buttons and try to scale them back correctly after you used everything out of one item. So it was just easier to change the dictionary to a list, use the list items to create brand new buttons, scrap the entire list, and build it all over again. It's easy, it's fast, it's not a big problem right now. I will probably go ahead and create a test scene and a few hundred objects and see how it runs performance-wise, but so far it works out pretty well so far. The storage is not built yet. The graphics have been built, but the actual mechanics of moving from inventory to storage has not been built yet, so there's nothing to see there. And like I said, I changed the space background. So now it's just stars. Just nameless, dead stars. The planet and the lighting looks a little more evil, a little more horrendous, which is what I wanted. The idea of being at the edge of life in space, here we are. So the only thing that I don't like about this particular planet asset is that it appears that light is coming from only one side of the planet instead of the entire thing. But I will be working with probably the developer of that asset to see if I can get around that and fix that, make it look better. So when the player's all the way around on the other side of the planet, it looks exactly the same as if you're on this side of the planet. The space mechanics, when you're actually flying around in space, has not changed. Haven't really done anything with that. Came out the way that I wanted it to. I increased the bloom glow effect that you see on the rocks there a little bit. It makes it a little more eerie as to what's going on. Other than that, that's pretty much it for right now. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. I will return them or answer them as best that I can. Other than that, have a great rest of the week. Have a good upcoming weekend, and let me know what you think.